Hello everyone, and this is Phoenix here, and today we're going to be doing a video talking about, well, a pickup video like I normally do at the end of each month. And of course, as you know, I just talk about the games that I recently got, and hopefully you guys can get some recommendations or something that interests you, or anything kind of like that. So anyways, I don't need to explain that too much there, but before we get into that, of course, we gotta do the shoutouts first, because that's part of the reason why I do these as well. So the first channel that I want to give a shout out real quick is the Gaming Chaos Show. I actually found out about his channel because he commented on one of my videos. I believe it was one of the Shadow Hearts videos. It was one of the two. And just so you guys know, whenever like a newer channel like comments on my videos, no matter what the comment is, I always check like their channel out just to see what they got. And well, I actually really like his channel. So basically, he does a lot of different like discussions or top 10 videos. Like, he's done one on top 10 like favorite PS1 openings, PS2 openings, and of course he also does like videos like talking about like canceled games. Like one thing that I thought was really cool was that apparently there was supposed to be a Diablo game on the Game Boy, and I thought that was really interesting just to figure that out. But yeah, so there's definitely some really good stuff to be had on his channel. And of course, one other thing that he will be doing for September is that he's going to be doing a whole bunch of shoot 'em up games during that month. So that's going to be really exciting because I love shoot 'em ups. So yeah, that's definitely a really good channel to check out. So yeah, the Chaos Gaming Show. Now the next one over here is a channel that I was actually subscribed to like many years ago, but he actually ended up restarting his channel from scratch, and that happens to be Aether Productions. Yeah, I haven't seen like his older videos in like a really long time, but I do remember he did do a lot of reviews. But now ever since he restarted his channel back from scratch, he decided to start out with doing reviews on a retrospective series of Harvest Moon. And I like Harvest Moon. I think it's a really good casual fun game. And of course, I actually found out about a game in that series I didn't know about, because apparently there was actually a Harvest Moon game on the original Game Boy and the Game Boy Color, and apparently they're like almost exactly the same, which is pretty crazy to think. But yeah, I really like his review on that series. I think it's really well done so far, and of course he's still continuing on making it. So like I said, if you really like Harvest Moon, that's definitely a good channel for that. And of course, maybe after he's done with that, talking about with that series, he'll probably go on like other things as well, which I'm very excited for. So yeah, that's a really good channel to check out too. Now the last channel that I'm going to be mentioning here is a channel that I found out about this year earlier on, and that is Betsy Vampire. In fact, we actually both live in the same country, by the way. And basically she does do a lot of like, she does some collection videos, she does a lot of streams, she does like a lot of things like that. And one thing, the funny story about this is that me and her were actually supposed to meet each other at the convention I was at in Toronto back in May, but unfortunately it didn't end up happening because I was only there for the day. And of course, because I was only there for the day, I had to go get my train ride back. And because like it was like the freaking convention is so huge, and the building is like, there's no reception in the building, so it was really hard to like keep in contact and all that kind of shit. And by the time when I was about to meet her, I had to go because I had to go back into the train station. And I know if I would have stayed there any longer, I would have like missed my train, because by the time I got there, by the time I left, I was about to miss it by 2 minutes. So yeah, my adrenaline rushing was like really like fast. Yeah, that was pretty fucking nuts shit. But anyways, so yeah, she's a really good channel, and I actually really like her. She's very nice, and of course she definitely knows what she's talking about. So yeah, that's definitely another channel I'll check out. So that'll be all the shoutouts for this month, and of course, for next month I'll name another 3. I thought about moving up to 4, but I'll have to think about it there. But anyways though, so before we go into like all the pickup stuff, one more thing I would like to explain here. That's something that some of you might think I'm crazy for doing, but I did it because, I really wasn't touching the damn thing, and that was that I actually sold my 3DO, and the reason why I sold my 3DO and all my games for that system is because I really wasn't playing it, and also I kind of like, for every time I have played it, it's an alright console, and of course like all like the games that are on that system are kind of hard to get, like all like the really good ones and all that, and I was like, you know what, that's fine. I mean, if I really had the money to get a game like Lucian's Quest or whatever, I might as well just go out and buy fucking like Panzer Dragoon Saga or some shit. But, yeah, anyways, though. So I just wanted to explain that, yeah, I sold it, and, it's not a bad console, it's just, I don't know, it just ain't for me. I mean, if I had a Sega, not a Sega, but a CDI, like, I would probably sell that too, because, you know, there's just nothing on that system that I really want. So, anyways, yeah. Unfortunately, I sold the 3DO, but it was for a good cause, and of course, you know, it's in a good home now, and I actually got some really good shit out of it. So, anyways, so one of the first things I got for this month that I'm going to show here is a system, and that happens to be an Atari 2600, but the Darth Vader version. Well, it's called the Vader, but, you know, it's pretty obvious what it's supposed to represent as. But, yeah, now that I think about it, I have a lot of systems that have Darth Vader on it. Like, I have a PSP that has Darth Vader, I have a PS4, and now I have an Atari. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. All I need now is have, like, the Star Wars 360, but that will be something for whenever. But anyways, though, yes, the Atari is an awesome system. I never owned it as a kid, or just never owned it, period. But I have played games, like, from it there, because, you know, due to, like, emulation, or due to, like compilation discs, because I know I have an Atari disc on PS1, which is pretty cool. But, yeah, I actually got this for a really good deal. Came with a whole bunch of games. In fact, I'll show off the games right now, but I'm not going to go, like, too in detailed about them, because, you know, it's Atari. There's not a whole lot I can say about them, but I can say a couple of things here and there. So, this is all the stack that came with it. Well, with one more. Okay. So, this one right here is Word Zapper. I've actually never played this one, but if I remember right, I think it's like one where you're using like a ship and you gotta shoot words to spell out a word or something. I can't remember if I remember right, but I think Ultra Game Room, or what he changed his name to now, is Outlaw Harvest. I think he actually did a video on this one. If I'm trying to remember if he did, but I could be totally wrong. But still, though, it looks like a game that he did a video on, though. Then there's Video Pinball, because, well, it's pinball on a video. Yeah, it's just pinball. I can't really say a whole lot about that, but... Then there's Real Sports Tennis, and if I remember right, this is the one, like, obviously it's tennis, but it's the one where you can, like, enter a name, and, you know, the graphics look better than, like, the other one, because there's, like, two different versions of it. But yeah, this is, like, the better version of it. And, oh yeah, one thing I forgot to say is that I haven't played the Atari yet, and I've had it since the beginning of the month. And the reason why I haven't played it yet is because I'm trying to get all the parts that connected to my TVs, but yeah, it's a complicated mess. I couldn't find any of the pieces around at the source because they're useless, and of course, you know, I had to order them online, which took forever, and I still haven't gotten one of the pieces yet, but it should be here soon. But anyways, I figure I should explain that now. And then this one is Space Invaders. You know, you really just can't go wrong with this game. This game is just awesome. Just fucking love it a lot. Then there's the infamous most sold game on the system, Pac-Man. Now, as you know, Pac-Man is an awesome game, but this version is not so much. This version, like, really sucks because, you know, like, only having like, one enemy on the screen at a time, and, you know, it doesn't really look like Pac-Man at all. Yeah. But, of course, it is interesting to note that it is the most top-selling game on the console, and just so you know, just because the game sells well, doesn't mean that it's good. And that was a perfect example of this. Then this one is Missile Command. Yeah, another really good classic game. I mean, not a whole lot I can say about it there, but definitely an awesome one for a good time. And then there's Grand Prix. Yeah, I know it's pre, but I like calling it Prix, because it's like Grand Prix. I don't know, I'm just being ridiculous now. But yeah, this is a really fun racing game. I actually have played this one before, and it's a good time fun. I really like it. And then there's Real Sports Football. I can't remember which football game this one is. I think it's one of the side-scrolling ones. I'm trying to remember the AVGN video on it there, but yeah, so that's all I can remember about it. And also, it's motherfucking goddamn football. I had to copy that one. Besides, that's actually my favorite AVGN episode, by the way. Then there's Centipede, and this one actually looks in very good shape, by the way. But yeah, Centipede, awesome stuff. In fact, this is like the one game that like made like mobile gaming really popular, so yeah, definitely pretty interesting on that. But yeah, awesome game though. And then this one is pretty beaten up, and that is boxing. And this is the one where, you know, it's like Geodude fighting against like Mr. Game & Watch on like a top-down view. Yeah. I haven't played this one, but apparently this one like isn't all that great, like not just because graphically but gameplay wise, but I don't know, I'd have to try it out myself, but I'll find out of that eventually there. And then lastly, we got Real Sports Baseball, and this is I can't remember, this is either the one where you know, where everyone looks like they're on like the bathroom stalls, or it's either the one where like the batter is naked. I forget, but I'll have to try that one out eventually there. But yeah, like I said, I'm trying to remember the AVGN episode to remember some of these because I haven't played them yet because of complications. But yeah, definitely will be doing some videos on these eventually there. And I don't think I'm going to do reviews. I think I might do something a little bit different with them, but we'll see. So yeah, I got all those games with the system for like $140, which I thought was like really good, because normally people sell an Atari system on their own for like $150, which is really stupid. Now I know some people are probably thinking like, "Wait, seriously?" I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of people around here that don't know the price of an Atari apparently, but yeah, I thought this was really good considering not only is it the black version of the Atari, but also it came with a whole bunch of games, so I thought it was worth it. And of course, there are more games I can definitely get out there that are like really cheap, so yep, I just gotta get those, that one last piece that I need. It's a coaxial mail or something like that. I got the one from Radio Shack, but yeah, anyways though. Alright, so the next one over here is NES games. I got two of them, and this one right here is Dragon Power. Now, one thing that is funny to know is that this game in Japan is a Dragon Ball game, and it did come out in Europe, but only in France. In fact, it actually is in French, which is kind of funny. But, yeah, so in this game, they pretty much took out, like, the name, obviously, but of course you can still very much tell that it is a Dragon Ball game, because you gotta find, like, crystal balls, obviously not Dragon Balls, and of course at the beginning you're with a girl, and she looks exactly like Bulma, like, they didn't even change her. Like, I think they changed her name, but, like, that's it. And your guy's named Goku, of course, but he doesn't have, like, that crazy hair, though. Like, everything else about him is the same. They just got rid of his hair. And all the enemies are all, like, very familiar, like, and the story, believe it or not, it does follow some of the scenes right. It's just the translation of this game is so poorly done, it's actually hilarious. Like, I was, like, laughing my ass off, like, reading it out, but yeah, like, the game itself is, like, it's kind of mediocre. I mean, it's not good, but it's not really bad either. It's just kind of there. But I mainly got it there because, you know, I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball, so I just really wanted to talk about it. And eventually I will do a review on it there, because I think it would be a pretty funny one. But yeah, this game it's worth playing if you are a huge fan of Dragon Ball, and of course you want to read the translations and all that kind of shit, because it is really funny. I was having a good time with it, but yeah, and thankfully this game is still really cheap too. I got it for like $10, so yeah, definitely can't go wrong there. But yes, it's only worth it if you're a Dragon Ball fan. If not, it's worth a pass. Now the next NES game over here, and the last one, it's a game I've actually wanted for a while, but I can never find a copy of it, and every time I do, it's always in like really shitty condition, and that happens to be Demon Sword. Yeah, like, I've seen this game, like, I used to see it all the time before, but every time I've seen it, like, the cover was always, like, screwed up looking, or, like, the cart was, like, super yellow. It was almost like everyone that had this game didn't know how to take good care of it, or some shit. Well, anyways, though, this is actually a pretty fun game. It kind of mixes, The Legend of Cage and Wizards and Warriors, and of course, you know, the cover, like, the guy, he looks pretty much exactly like Fabio, like, from the other cover of, Wizards and Warriors 2. Yeah, but I'm not just saying that because of the cover, like, even the gameplay is, like, kind of similar to it in a way, because you gotta find, like, items and keys, and you're, like, jumping around, and this game's actually pretty fun. I actually really do enjoy it. Of course, the one complaint I do have is that when you jump, you actually jump with using up, which is kind of annoying. But other than that, though, like it is a pretty fun game, and and the controls are very responsive, and of course you jump like super amazingly high, and it's a pretty fun game. And of course, I think it's kind of underrated for a Taito game on the NES. At least I don't hear many people talk about it there, but. Anyways, though, it's a really good one, and of course, it's also still very cheap, too. So, yeah, can't go wrong with this one either. It's a lot of fun. So, this next game over here is a Super Nintendo game, and this is one game I actually wanted to find for a long time, but I never did. It's one of those games that you just don't see around that often, but it's actually not that expensive, which is kind of surprising. And this game happens to be a part of one of my favorite series, and that is Ys 3, Wanderers from Ys. Now this game is not only available on the Super Nintendo, but you can also get it on the Genesis, but the Genesis version is actually even harder to find, and I think it's actually a bit more expensive too, so yeah, that's kind of weird, because normally it's the other way around, but yeah, anyways though. Yeah, this is definitely an awesome series, I really love it a lot. It's basically Zelda with heavy metal, well at least the remakes of them are, but yeah, you can definitely tell that, like, the music in these games are, like, amazing, though. That still, like, remains the same. But, yeah, this one, particularly, reminds me a lot of Zelda 2 in a lot of ways, because, for one, it's in a side-scrolling view, where normally the other games are in a top-down view, and also this game is the only one to ever do that. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting like that. And, of course, this game is actually really fun, really challenging, especially the bosses. The bosses in this game are really, really hard. And I remember playing the hell out of it on emulation, and I did play a little bit of it yesterday, but, yeah, I didn't really, like, get that far in it there, though, but I will be doing that eventually there, because I am playing through this quite a bit. And this game is actually not too long of a game, but, like I said, the bosses in it are really hard, so that's what makes the game making feels like that's longer, but I still really enjoy this one. Like, obviously, it's not my favorite Ys game, but it is a really good one there. And it still is worth playing through if you are a fan of the series and you just haven't played this one yet. Even if it is very different, it's still a really good game. Alright, so the next stuff over here is Xbox stuff. So the Xbox 360 is one game, and this game over here is Battle Fantasia, which is a fighting game made by Arc System Works. Now, this game, I never even heard of it until I found it, and you know what, as soon as I looked at the back, I thought, oh wow, this looks pretty awesome. It's basically like, okay, like, I don't know about you, but the cover art of the game kind of reminds me of, like, a Vanillaware game, but actually the graphics are, like, in-game are, like, 3D. Like, it's not a 3D fighting game, it's a 2D, but, you know, it's, like, 3D graphics, so yeah, the 3D graphics are, like, they're kind of nice looking. Like, it has, like, some, like, interesting charm to it. In fact, it kind of looks a lot like Eternal Sonata in a lot of ways. But when it comes to, like, the art of, like, you know, like, the character profiles and the character selection screen, it definitely does look like a Vanillaware game, which is kind of cool. But, yeah, this is definitely a fighting game that not only have I never really heard much about, but, it's actually a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. I haven't really touched the story mode in it yet, but I mostly just played some, like, arcade runs. And, yeah, there's a lot of really cool characters in this game. So, yeah, from what I looked up, the 360 version is the only one that came outside of Japan, if I remember correctly. I think there's a PC version, but I know the PS3 one stayed in Japan, which kind of sucks, but in a way, I guess you can just import it if you feel like it. But if you do have a 360, it definitely is a really fun fighting game on there that I don't really hear much people talk about. But yeah, definitely a really good one. Now, this Xbox game, and this is an original one, and this is actually a game I found at a thrift store very recently. And I was very surprised to see it there, and that happens to be Outrun II, which is definitely an awesome racing game. Well, more like trying to, like, beat your time, but still, it's a racing game. So, yeah, this game is a lot of fun, and of course I used to play the hell out of the arcade version because an arcade at my old place used to have two Outrun 2 arcade machines, and yeah, that was definitely a whole lot of fun. Had a good time with that. And this is exactly like how I remembered it, but just, you know, not being in an arcade cabinet, just being on your Xbox, but yeah, you know, really awesome graphics. I think the graphics in this game still hold up very well, and of course the music in this game is great. It's cheesy, but I love it. In fact, one of the songs kind of reminds me of the songs from, like, Sonic R, but not as cheesy, but you know, it still has that vibe to it, but that just could be me. But of course, to me, that's not a bad thing because I like the music in Sonic R, but anyways, though, there's not a whole lot I can say about it there, but it definitely is a great series of games, and it's unfortunate they don't make very much of these anymore because Sega lost the license of Ferrari or whatever, so that's kind of unfortunate, but if they ever do make another one there, I'd definitely glad to play it there because definitely an awesome, fun time. So now we got some PS3 games and PS4 games, so yeah, so just basically the PlayStation stuff is all that's left, and this is a PS3 game that I got like a little while ago, but I haven't got around to playing it yet, but from what it looks of it there, it does look like a really good one, and that is Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Now, I've heard a lot about this game. Apparently, it's kind of like an end-of-the-world scenario, but, like, the whole world is being taken over by plants, and so it's, in a way, it's kind of like a survival game, which is kind of interesting. So, yeah, unfortunately, I haven't got around to actually putting this one in my PS3 yet there, but it definitely does look like an interesting one, so yeah, unfortunately I can't say a whole lot about it there, but it definitely does look like a really cool one, and of course it's still easy to find and it's really cheap, so, you know, if you ever do see it around, try and pick it up whenever you can, because I think this game definitely is a very interesting one, and I don't hear too many people talk about it, but, yeah, apparently it was developed by Ninja Theory, which is interesting, because I know they usually get a lot of shit, but either way, though, this one should be a good one. Now, this is a PS3 game that I remember when it came out, a lot of people were talking shit about it, but I wanted to get it, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to pay, like, brand new price for it there, but eventually I found it for really cheap, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to play this. And that happens to be Splatterhouse, the remake. And let me tell you, from what I've played of this game, unfortunately I didn't play a whole lot about it because unfortunately my PS3 froze and it pissed me off and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna play this game later. But, yeah, so before it did freeze on me, from what I have played of it, it's actually a lot of fun. I actually really like it. I don't know why people said this game was, like, shitty. I don't know. Maybe it was just people being offended at the fact that it was, like, a very gory game, but what do you expect? It's called Splatterhouse. What do you think it's gonna be about? But yeah, it's a beat 'em up, and it seems really fun so far. Very gory, very good music, and good graphics, and, you know, all that kind of good stuff. I haven't noticed any frame rate, but, you know, I'm sure that might have been something that some people would have complained about, but I don't know, I didn't notice any yet. And another thing that else is really good about this game is that it actually has the original arcade ports of the original 3 games. Of course, you have to unlock them by getting to a certain point in the game, but hey, that's pretty cool, though, the fact that this game actually has the original versions, because those games are awesome. So even if you are, like, happen to not be a fan of this game, it's at least worth having if you do want to play the original arcade Splatterhouse games, because unfortunately, like, you know, getting the TurboGrafx or Mega Drive games are kind of expensive and hard to find, so this game is at least worth it if you do want to play the old stuff. So yeah, it definitely is really good for that. Okay, so the next games over here are PS4 games, and this one right here is Resident Evil 4 on the PS4, and I was not expecting to getting this one so soon, mainly because one of my pre-orders got delayed till, like, October, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll settle for this for now. I mean, it's horror enough a related game anyway. But, yeah, so Resident Evil 4, what can I say that, like, hasn't been said before? But, yeah, it definitely is one of my favorite ones, and the reason why it's one of my favorite ones is mainly because it has a good balance between, like, action and horror puzzles and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, I know a lot of people say this is the one where they kind of got more action-orientated, and yeah, they did, but I found it still had a good balance between everything else, though. You know, it's not like 5 or 6 where it was mostly just action, action, action. This one actually has, like, you know, it's like action and horror stuff, yeah. I don't know, it's kind of, like, it sounds dumb to explain it there, but anyways, though, it definitely is a big favorite of mine for that, and of course, you know, the atmosphere is great. I love, like, the whole, like, beginning part. In fact, I only just played the beginning part just to see how it plays on PS4, and, well, it looks very smooth and looks very nice, and of course, they made it so that you aim with the right stick now, rather than, like, the one that you move with. Anyways, though, definitely love this game, and I just mainly wanted to get it on PS4, so, you know, I can just play it all over again, and of course, I don't know, maybe I might do, like, some videos on it or something. I think that'd be a lot of fun, but we'll have to see about that, because I got a lot of plans to do for October anyway, so yeah, we'll see. Now, this next game over here is a collector's edition game, but I didn't bring out the box because it's just too much work. But I brought the still case, and that is the King of Fighters 14. And man, this game is awesome. Like, this is definitely, like, not only is it, like, a really good entry into the King of Fighters series, but it's just a really awesome fighting game all around. Like, I'd say this, Mortal Kombat X, and Guilty Gear Xrd are probably my favorite fighting games from this gen. At least from the ones that I played. I still haven't played DOA 5 yet, but that one also does look really good too. But, yeah, so I got the Collector's Edition, which comes with, like, this steel book, and it comes with a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm going to be uploading a unboxing video. I actually filmed it the other day, but it'll be uploaded soon, so you guys will see that. But, yeah. So, yeah, this game's awesome, and of course, it seems like I've been getting a lot of fighting games lately. I mean, this month I got a whole bunch, and then, because there's still a bit more games to show, and of course, I got a whole bunch from, like, last month. Hell, I even got King of Fighters 99 on PS1 last month, so yeah, kind of ironic, but anyways, though, if you like the King of Fighters games and you were kind of skeptical on this one at first, because I know a lot of people didn't like the whole graphic change there, and, you know, I totally get it. I love the graphics from 13, but yeah, you know what, it's still worth getting anyway, because I definitely love this game. I've been playing it a hell lot, and yeah, it's awesome. Now, the last PS4 game, and I wouldn't be surprised if most people that are watching this video skipped over this one, or seeing this one, because it's kind of a weeboo trashy game, because, as you know, I like weeboo trash, according to one of my friends on Facebook, but that's okay. I'm totally fine with that. And that happens to be Hatsune Miku Project Diva X. And no, this is not the 10th game in the series, but, yeah, anyways, this is basically a music rhythm game, and as you know, Hatsune Miku is a singer from Japan, but not a real-life singer, but a singer that people can make songs using her voice kind of thing. It's actually pretty interesting how it works, but anyways, though, so of course, if you don't like the music, you won't like this game. As for me, I'm okay with the music. I think some of it is good, some of it is not so good, but, you know, for the most part, I do like some of it there. So that's why I got this game, and of course, this game was, like, really, really addicting. In fact, I even done a review of the first game on PS3, and it has, like, the really cringeworthy, like, acting of, like, skits and shit, which I don't do anymore on my channel because, well, they're just cringeworthy. But despite how cringeworthy it was a lot of fun to make. I won't lie about that, but anyways, I just wanted to mention that there because, well, yeah, it was just a funny-ass time. Alright, so now there's only, like, 3 more games left, and they're all on the PS1, but I'm going to be showing 2 of them off at the same time because they're, like, very similar to each other. In fact, they're actually part of the same series, and that happens to be Battle Arena Toshinden 1 and 2. Now, I haven't really played, like, a whole lot of these since I got them, mainly because I have, like, a shitload of fighting games recently, so I haven't really got around to playing them, and, oh, not only that, but also these games are incredibly goofy, and I don't know if it's just because of the fact they're, like, very early fighting games, but yeah, it's one of those games where, you know, it's very early, so, you know, like, the jumping in it feels like we're on the moon, and then, of course, like, some of the attacks are a little bit finicky, but, not all of them, but some of them are. And, yeah, this game is actually really hilarious. I really like how, like, you know, the voice acting is, like, really, like, cheesy and, like, hilarious. I like that. And some of the music in the games are really good, too. But, like I said, I haven't played, like, a whole lot of them since I got them, because I've been mostly playing, like, King of Fighters, and I've also played a bit of, like, Battle, Fantasia, or whatever, so it's one of those games that, you know, hasn't aged well, but you know what, whatever, that doesn't bother me. I still like playing games that look blocky as fuck. I mean, I don't mind it, but anyways, though, they are fairly fun, and they are pretty damn hilarious. Alright, now, as for the last PS1 game, now, before I show the game off, all I want to say here is that this game is very hard to find, and it's also very expensive. And the only reason why I got it was not only because I have memories with it, but also because, well, I gotta thank the fact that my 3DO, like, when I sold it, it really helped me out from getting this game. And I really wanted this game because, you know, like I said, it was a game that I had a lot of memories with, and also the game is fun as shit. So, this game happens to be Team Buddies. Now, before I talk about the game, I just want to say that this was a game I remember renting as a kid, and I really, really liked it a lot. And then, of course, after I returned it back, and then I moved back to the other place, and then it was all like, oh, sorry, we cleared out all of our old stuff. So, yeah, that kind of sucked. And I never would have thought that this game would be as expensive as it is now, because, I don't know, it just seems kind of weird to think about. And then, of course, I forgot about the game entirely, and then I remembered it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's that game where it looks like Mighty Beans with guns. But, yeah, anyways, so that's pretty much some of my memories with the game itself. And now that I have it, and I played it again, yeah, it's still awesome today. So, basically, it's a game where you use these little, like, Mighty Bean looking dudes, and you have, like, guns and knives and rocket launchers and stuff, and pretty much it's like an RTS game because you have a base, and then you have, like, your one dude, and then you have, like, a little square thing where you drop blocks in, and if you drop them in, like, the right pattern, you can make, like, tanks, you can make guns and new people. So, in a lot of ways, when you make stuff in this game, it's kind of like Minecraft, but, you know, like, way before that, so I thought that was really cool. But, yeah, this game is not only really different and innovative, but also, it's a lot of fun. I remember playing this game with 2 people was, like, amazing time. It's just unfortunate that this game is so expensive as what it is now, and of course, another thing that really sucks is that even emulation is not really friendly with this game, because every time I've tried to emulate the game, it always, like, loads, and then it, like, freezes. And I know a lot of people have been asking about, like, why does it freeze at that, but I can never find an answer to it, and every time I do, it never fucking works, so yeah, that really sucks that this game is not, like, easy access there. But if you ever do find this game, and it happens to be, you know, at a decent price, I would definitely recommend getting it there, because, like I said, it's not easy access, and also, this game is a hell of a lot of fun. Anyways, though, definitely love this game, and I'm very happy to have it, because, like I said, I actually do play my games no matter, like, what price it costs, like, because, you know, I'm not, like, one of those pretentious people where I'm like, oh, yeah, like, you know, like, I got a little Samsung copy, and I just, like, have it on the shelf, and I just look at it all damn day. Yeah, no, that's boring shit. I actually play these, or I buy these to play them. So, that'll be all for the pickup video for the month of August, and, yeah, I know, I kind of had to be kind of a douchebag at the end of the video, but anyways, it's all in good fun, guys. And, you know, I'm not like I'm not against people that collect in different ways. I just like to have fun with it. But anyways, though, so with that being said, hopefully you see some games in this video that you might be interested in wanting to get yourself, or ones that you might want to try out, or, you know, anything like that. So anyways, so with that being said, thanks for watching and commenting, and have yourselves a great day. And like I said, we're going to be pushing on to episode 100 on the reviews in September, so keep an eye out on that, and of course keep an eye out on the unboxing videos, and I'm also going to be doing some streams in the next 2 months, so, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun.